Tonight, the first Ukrainians have arrived in the East Midlands under the new Family Reunion programme. They're women and children who fled the war without their husbands and dads. And one Nottinghamshire couple have taken in their daughter-in-law's relatives, as our social affairs correspondent Jeremy Ball reports.
It's a good job Angelika bought this sofa bed. Her lounge in Gedling's now a bedroom for her mum and grandma after their traumatic escape from Ukraine. Gilia remembers the warplanes circling above their house, then rockets hitting a nearby airport. Now, finally, they're safe.
Yeah, she was hugging me from happiness and Yes, she saw that. She saw that her heart will come out from chest when she saw me.
They fled across the Polish border with other women and children, but the men had to stay, so Lilia's son is still in the line of fire.
She's trying to say that son, he's a doctor in Ukraine, studied for 9 years, just for nothing, just experiencing all this hell in Ukraine.
Now they're trying to forget that hell and start new lives here. They qualified for 3-year family visas because Angelika's now a British citizen and her husband Colin was born here.
I'm relieved massively. It's quite good for me because they keep me like cleaning and cooking and tidying house, so I can go to work and concentrate on my work.
It's a big adjustment, but because I've been to the Ukraine so many times to see them there, it's just basically like Ukraine's come here.
Okay. And Colin's parents have taken in 2 other members of their daughter-in-law's family, Yulia and William, her 7-year-old son. William's looking forward to starting school in Arnold.
Англія сама красива.
Yes, hello England. He thinks it's a beautiful country.
Ми приїхали сюди, щоб спасти свої війни.
We came here to be safe from war in Ukraine.
Всі погибають від війни.
A lot of people dying there, innocent people.
We don't speak Ukrainian, of course, and they speak very little English. So getting used to the language. But it's been lovely taking them to the shops, showing them, you know, how we do things, because they've been through such a lot and they would do the same for us. We love them.
They love the traditional Ukrainian cooking too. And now one of their friends in Nottingham wants to host 3 more of their family members. A home away from home at their time of greatest need.
Well, Jeremy's here in the studio. Jeremy, do we know how many Ukrainian refugees are likely to come here?
Well, the government hasn't put a limit on this, but at the moment we're talking much smaller numbers than many other European countries. Simple reason for that, Ukrainians don't have an automatic right to come to this country. Usually they'll need a visa, which they'll get if somebody can accommodate them. So we're either talking about that family scheme we've just heard about, or that second Homes for Ukraine sponsorship route, which the government announced last week. Now, that has prompted a lot of expressions of interest. The big question is how many of those expressions of interest are going to turn into actual arrivals. Still very early days, but Council's making contingency plans at the moment.
And what do we know about what's actually involved in those plans?
One of the big things is going to be school places for children like William. They'll need to help people with English tuition, perhaps help into jobs as well. Another big thing here is safeguarding, because a lot of these refugees are going to be women and children who will be moving in with strangers. So potential hosts are going to need DBS checks, accommodation is going to be inspected. I'm told another thing they're considering at the moment is what happens at the end of that 6-month commitment, because, you know, people fall out, house shares break down. So if a host decides not to continue with that commitment, well, what happens then?